What's up, guys? Now I have to study quickly. My exams are coming up soon. I'm studying physics. I love science. So you know what I'm gonna do? There's this chapter I'm struggling with. I gotta finish it as quick as possible. Alright? So this is a video, right? I can make a video of anything if I wanted to. And let's finish this chapter in one sitting. 30 pages. Let's go. I really can't wrap my head around transistors for some reason. I'm smart, by the way. Alright, let's go. Not diodes, I'm learning about transistors. Don't call me a nerd. I just like it. I just like it. Timer, go. There's a timer somewhere here. Boom. 3, 2, 1, start. A transistor is basically a silicon or germanium crystal containing 3 alternate regions of p and n type. Diodes, no semiconductors. These 3 regions are called emitter, base, and collector. The middle region is the base. The outer 2 regions are the emitter and collector. The collector is the largest, emitter is the small, base is the smallest. Emitter is the smallest. No, the base is the smallest. Emitter and collector are the same type. Base terminal controls the current flowing between emitter and collector. This control action gives transistor an advantage over the diode. Depending on doping, levels of doping, depending on type of doping, transistors are called NPN and PNP transistors. A BJT transistor, bipolar junction transistor. Transistors are also called bipolar junction. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Depending on level of doping increases with emitter to collector. No, emitter to collector to base. Emitter has the least, base has the most. No, wait, what? Nope. Emitter has the most, base has the least. But collector is the largest, base is the smallest. That's easy to wrap my head around. In case of an NPN transistor, the majority carriers from the emitter are injected into the base region. Base is very lightly doped and it allows most electrons injected by the emitter to pass into the collector. In case of an NPN transistor, majority carriers from the emitter, because emitter is highly doped, majority carriers from emitter are transferred to the collector. No, are injected into the base, and from the base it goes to the collector. The base is lightly doped. It allows most electrons from the emitter to go straight to the collector. The collector dissipates more heat compared to the other regions because it's large, I think. In an NPN type, the emitter is the direction of current, conventional current, and in PNP type, it's from emitter to base. Symbolic representations are given. The easy. I know this. A circle around the main parts, followed by an arrow, either from emitter to base or from base to emitter. Then I can actually have my hair around. That's easy. In the PNP, in an NPN transistor, emitter current is due to flow of electrons from base to emitter. No, from emitter to base. In an NPN, it is from emitter to base. The conventional current flows from base to emitter. That's an NPN. Easy. And that's conventional current. Base from emitter to emitter. In a PNP transistor, conventional current flows from emitter to base and electrons flow from base to emitter. Since transistors are bipolar devices, their operation depends on both the majority and minority carriers. Transistors are bipolar, and therefore their operation depends on both majority and minority charge carriers. The working principle of a transistor. Okay, I know what a PN junction is. What about an NPN junction? Yeah? No voltage is applied when no voltage is applied across a transistor. Diffusion of free electrons across the terminals junctions produces two depletion layers. No voltage creates two depletion layers. Easy. You see my face? For each depletion layer, the barrier potential is 0.3 for germanium or 0.7 for silicon. Now 25, room temperature-ish. I see that's nice, 25 degrees Celsius. Nice and cool. I'm thirsty. Oh. When no voltage is applied across the transistor, diffusion of free electrons across the junctions produce two depletion layers. When no voltage across the transistor, diffusion of free electrons across the junctions produce two depletion layers. The barrier potential is about 0.7 for silicon. Since the three, that's a ringtone. Since the three regions have different doping levels, okay, the depletion layers have different widths. If region is heavily doped, the concentration of ions near the junction is more, resulting in a smaller depletion layer, thinner. More doping means more depletion. It contracts. Anyway, this shakes so much because it's elevated by a rock. The table. Rocky doodle doo. Anyway, the depletion layers have different widths. If a region is heavily doped, the concentration of ions near the junction will be more, resulting in thin depletion layer. Since the base is lightly doped, its depletion layer is big as compared to the emitter layer. Extends well into it, the depletion layers. Okay. Whereas penetration in emitter and collector regions is to a lesser extent. Emitter depletion layer is narrower compared to collector depletion layer. Wait, penetration in, that's my grandma talking, by the way. I mean, if you hear stuff in the background, voices. Okay, since the base is lightly doped as compared to emitter and collector, its depletion layer extends well into it. The depletion layers extend well into it, both of them. Oh, depletion layers, since they are PN junctions, the one side with more doping will have shorter depletion layer, but the side with more, no, the side with less doping has a larger depletion layer. If this is the junction, and this is the less doped area, this is the more doped area. Small, large, small, large, small, large. Okay, this helps. Recording yourself is fun. Anyway, emitter depletion layer is narrower compared to collector depletion layer. Of course it is narrower. That is because emitter is highly doped. It will be narrower than collector and base. It is the most doped. In order to make a transistor function properly, it's necessary to apply suitable voltages to its terminals. This is called biasing of the transistor. Suitable voltage. Okay, NPN. Okay, NPN transistors. A brief definition or something like that. A typical biasing scheme is shown. Okay, it's just stuff. The emitter base junction is forward biased. The emitter base is forward biased in this case because conventional current flows from base to emitter. Because it's an NPN, negative. It wants to get out of its comfort zone. So that's the thing, I guess. It's pretty, no, I don't know. It's an extrovert, N. Extroverts are what? Circle. It goes out of the circle, the conventional current. That's in the symbol, by the way. Base to emitter. Oh, collector is not even there. Oh man, too much noise, right? Dogs barking, cars moving. I'm outside my home right now. Outside the house, in the front lawn or something. I don't know what to call this place. Okay, come on dogs, please. When forward bias is applied to emitter, free electrons in the emitter have to overcome the barrier potential. When VBE exceeds, what? Expect a larger current, emitter current and low collector current. In practice though, we observe that collector is almost as large as emitter. This is because when forward bias is applied across emitter and base up to the emitter, free electrons in the emitter have to overcome barrier potential between emitter and base to enter the base region. When voltage between B and E, VBE, exceeds barrier potential, VBE exceeds barrier potential. Negative is always connected to negative, positive always to positive. I don't know why. Anyway, this is easy. N is negative, P is positive. There are two N's, so they both want to get out of the circle. I mean, the Karens want to get out of the circle in NPN. There are two negative people. Karens. Right? I mean, I just watched it for fun. And according to it, Karens are negative. You know those people who do stuff for no reason at all? But I don't like that. Some people might be named Karens, but they are not negative. Oh well, I'm just trying to justify myself here, I guess. Whatever. You guys understand, right? Anyway, in practice, we observe the collector current is as large as emitter current. When forward bias is applied to the emitter, free electrons in the emitter have to overcome the barrier potential. When VBE exceeds barrier potential, these electrons enter the base, as shown. When BE, enter the base when it exceeds barrier potential. Easy. That's the basic p-n junction function. These electrons enter the base region. These electrons enter the base region, as shown. Once inside the base, these electrons can flow either through the thin base to the external lead. My parents are right now outside, gone outside right now. I mean, with the car. So they might come here soon, and then I'll have to stop recording because this is a one-shot video. I guess then that's where the video ends. Let's try to finish as quick as possible. Oh well. Yeah. Oh, nice. Will you come in? Thanks. Okay. Oh. Can flow either through the thin base into the external base lead or across the collector junction into the collector region. Downward component of the base is called recombination. Ooh, lovely. Very nice. I love this. Huh?
It's fine, huh?
It's fine. Okay, he's just showing me a banner pattern for our channel. Okay, for the channel, I hope you understood my accent. And will you bring me water? I'm thirsty. Thanks. He's a good bro, by the way, Dalarian. The sunlight is getting closer to me. These electrons, okay, VBE exceeds barrier potential. These electrons move from. Oh my. Everything alright? The dogs are barking. My dog's barking. So many dogs today. One's inside the base. The downward component of the base. Max! Come on, Max. Stay there, okay? It's alright. Stay there. He's trying to sunbathe, I guess. But he's an avid barker. I'm trying to study, I can't focus. These electrons can flow. Max, you know what? I'm gonna have to put Max inside. Max, you go inside. This is a terrible video. Okay. Once inside the base, these electrons flow either through the thin base to the external base lead. Right? Once in the base, electrons flow either through the base into the external base, into the lead terminal base terminal, or across the collector junction into the collector region. Oh, I see. So from the emitter, the electrons, conventional current goes up. Like in the NPN type transistor, the current goes from emitter through the emitter region into the base, and either it can go straight to the base terminal through the base region, or to the collector region through the or to the collector terminal through the collector's depletion region. I hope that made sense. To me, I think half covered with sunlight. This is hard. The downward component is called recombination. I'm going to speed up the part in which I was out of camera, by the way, okay? I'm going to say that in the intro. I'm going to edit a little. The downward component of the base is called recombination. Correct. The downward component of the base is called recombination current. Okay, I got this. I got how it works. It goes from emitter to collector, no, emitter to base. Or if not enough voltage, then from base to collector. No, then from base to base terminal. And if enough voltage, from base to collector. Base to collector, base to collector. Since the base region is very thin, base region is very thin because it's slightly doped, the least one actually. Looks like my parents have come up. I'm gonna have to cut the video, or I could speed it up, pause the timer, 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, I'm back. Oh god, this thing came up. I'll move this aside. Come on, mom's coming upstairs. Alright, mom and dad came. Sunlight moves fast. I'm gonna scoot over to the side. I remove the rock first. थोड़ी देर पहले ही तो आप हैं सामने हाँ मैं हूँ सामने देखो हाँ चलेंगे बाद में 2 अक्षर आप सो क्या कर रहा हूँ धूप में हाँ क्या कर रहे हैं क्या धूप में मैं शेड में वीडियो बना रहा था वीडियो बना रहे हैं आप उसमें जल्दी मत रुको गुरु आएगा किसमें जिधर वो पत्थर क्यों इसके अच्छा अच्छा थोड़ा शेक होता लेकिन चलेगा पानी है क्या पाटे में हाँ पाटे पानी ये मैक्स संभालो मैं इसको बांध रहा हूँ तकलीफ हो जाएगा मैं ना ऊपर जा रहा हूँ हाँ बाबा hey Max good alright so I'm back begin the timer base region wait I gotta pause again okay I'm back eh oh illa nan kulchilla karchi idu kulku guys I'm back start the timer go okay NPN transistor since the base is very thin okay let's recap conventional flow of a NPN is from base to emitter because 2 ends Karens want to go outside spread negativity so that's why they go outside that's correct but in normal flow you know how it works what was this we'll expect a current of we expect a large emitted current to flow to the base but take out a smaller collector current and low collector current. But in practice we observe that collector is almost as large as the base current. Why? Because when electrons go from current to base they pass through the depletion layer. The thing moved already. They pass to the depletion layer after overcoming the barrier potential into the base. Now if the potential is not high enough, it will go either through the base. These electrons can either go through the base region into the base terminal or from the collector region into the collector terminal. The thin base into the external base lead or across the collector junction into the collector region, and this base, the downward component of base current is called base recombination current. It is small because base is lightly doped. If it were more doping, the current would be bigger. Since base region is very thin, it receives a large number of what? Electrons, cause thin region equals not much not much barrier potential, and I was correct. Okay, electrons for VBE, so yeah, base emitter greater than 0.7 volts. Most of these electrons diffuse into the collector depletion region layer. The free electrons are pushed and flow into the free electrons in this layer are pushed by the depletion layer field, by the barrier potential, into the collector region and flow into the external lead if it's greater than BE. If it's greater than BE, it will diffuse into the collector depletion layer where they get pushed into the collector region lead by the potential, the depletion layer field. We can say that a steady stream of electrons leaves the negative source terminal and enters the emitter. In actual practice, in reality, by opposite of conventional current, electrons move to emitter, go to base, the NPN type, go to emitter, to base, collector for 0.7 voltage. Let me imagine a picture. It's a cube divided into 3 bases. Smallest emitter is medium, collector is the largest. Collector. Yeah. If this is the emitter, electrons flow into the emitter, now and then they go to the base. If it's greater than base, no, if the voltage is greater than less than 0.7, it will go into the base. Otherwise, they will hit the depletion layer of the collector region and go from. Because of the field, they will go into the collector. Easy. I just imagine the entire picture. Very epic. Let's go. They get injected into the base. That's the word. The forward bias forces these electrons to enter the base region because of the forward bias. Almost all these electrons diffuse into the collector region because through the collector layer, depletion layer, to the base. I mean, it is the forward bias, right? There was a forward bias. If it was reverse bias, I wonder what would have happened. The forward bias forces these electrons to enter the base. Almost all diffuse into the collector region, but some go through the base. Okay, that's literally what I just explained. More than 95% the depletion layer field pushes stream. 2 points. You have to. Okay, remember that, me. Okay, I need an eraser. Do I find an eraser? Hey, I'm back. Got myself a sandwich. The sunlight's getting dangerously close. Ah, yeah! Looks like I gotta go again. Now there are 4 fast forwards. I'm back. There are 4 times I need to fast forward. 4 fast forwards. Okay. So, my circumstances are getting worse and worse. The sunlight is getting too close. Let's see. More than 95% electrons, emitter injected electrons, make it to the collector, the rest go into the base. Less than 5% go into the external base. trying to avoid junk food, but this is junk. I'm eating it because my mom bought it for me. I don't want to make her sad, you know. She understands though. You should not conclude that you can connect two discrete diodes. You should not conclude you can connect two discrete diodes back to back to get a transistor. This is because in such a circuit, each diode has two dope regions. The circuit overall would have four dope regions, and that's incorrect. Therefore, it is not a transistor. The key to transix, the way to get transistor action is that the lightly doped thin layer between the heavily is to get the lightly doped base lightly doped thin layer in between two nicely doped regions, emitter and collector. Lightly doped in between the heavily doped E emitter and the intermediate dope collector. This video is for educational purposes only, or not actually. Don't eat junk food. The relation between collector current and emitter current is explained in terms of current gain, signal gain, alpha. So I guess it's input, no, I remember this one. Output divided by input. So it will be collector current divided by emitter current. Yes. Alpha is equal to, but always less than 1. Nearly equal to, but always less than 1. We can relate collector current to base, denoted by beta. It's the current gain. Instead of the signal current gain from emitter to collector, is the base current gain in the common emitter configuration, CE. Now, base is equal to, I know this output over input is the current gain, will be collector divided by base. Yes, wait, what? Collector is the output though. Yeah, actually, yeah, correct. Collector is the output. Huh. Beta is denoted by beta, and it signifies the current gain. It's significantly greater than 1, because current in base is the least one. Current in emitter is the highest one. High doping, thin region, easy passing. Low doping, large region, hard passing. Emitter current equals the sum of collector and base. Obviously, it's where current goes into it, it's where the electrons come from. So IE is equal to IC plus IB. Dividing by IC, you will get IE over IC is equal to 1 plus IB over IC. Or reciprocal it, in terms of alpha and beta, 1 over alpha is equal to 1 plus 1 over beta. Easy. Or beta is equal to alpha divided by 1 minus alpha. Well, just remember IE is equal to IC plus IB is logical. A PNP transistor. Nah, wow, finally. Why are there two batteries here though? Alright. EB and CB and EB and CB and EB and CB. And PNP is the positive connected to the terminal. Positive to positive. The mental flow is inside. Positive people want to come inside and work on themselves. They want to get inside and work. Oh, the sunlight's harsh. Can you even see that? I can't see the screen. My eyesight has been... I can literally look straight into the sky. What? Everything is so clear. But if I go inside, everything will be dark. I'm sorry, excuse me for pulling my nose. You know what do you call that action? Anyway, emitter base junction is forward biased by the battery, EB. So B is EB now. And collector base junction is reverse biased by a battery of CB. Resistance of emitter base is very small due to forward bias. We apply small forward force bias voltage 2.6 or 7, whereas the reverse bias voltage is 9 volts. So PNP. Man, the sun. Now there are going to be 5 points because there's a nice shady area over there. I'm going to have to move the camera. Okay, let's do this. Just shovel. And this is my coffee. I'm back. I don't want to take that stone over there and bring it over here because it's heavy. It is too heavy. I need a spoon for this. I feel like I've been studying for too long. It's not been that long, to be honest. Wow. There are 5 fast forward parts. Let me write them down. Okay. 5 fast forward. Done, finally. Okay. Forward, the timer starts now. Forward bias of emitter base junction makes the majority carriers. Reverse bias is 9 volts, okay. So the base junction. Alright. Forward bias of emitter base junction makes the majority carriers, that is the holes, in emitter P region to diffuse to the base N region on being repelled by the positive terminal of the battery. As width of the base is extremely thin and is lightly doped, very few holes that enter the base combine with electrons, and 95% to 98% reach the collector in the PNP type. Positive try to get inside in the conventional current flow. As with the base, width of the base is extremely high. I'm going to squat down. Or maybe I need a chair. Forward bias of emitter-base junction makes the majority carriers. As breadth of the base is extremely thin and it's slightly doped, very few of the holes that enter the base recombine with electrons, and 95% to 98 reach the collector. And so most of them just pass right through. Is like, okay. Due to reverse bias of collector base, NP, PN to NP. Oh, one is forward bias, the other is reverse bias. That's why. 0.6 to the emitter base, 9 volts to the base collector. Due to reverse bias of collector base region, holes reaching this region are attracted by negative potential applied to the collector, thereby increasing the collector current. Due to negative bias. Therefore, increase in emitter current increases collector current. Increase in emitter increases collector. So, the gain formulas, signal current gain and beta, alpha, beta, they work. Even that beta is equal to alpha over 1 minus alpha. Or IE is equal to IC plus IB divided by IC. You get 1 over alpha is equal to 1 plus 1 over beta. Use that. Coffee. Very good. Finally, arrowhead of the symbol in the direction. I have understood it. Let me try to make it again. Try to revise it in my head. Let me ask myself a question. I remember this question, why is the emitter current almost equal to collector current when we expect the collector current to be way less than emitter current? You see, when electrons are injected into the emitter from the battery, from the source, the emitter will inject, and if they're greater than potential, 0.67, they will inject the, what's the barrier potential? 0.7? Yeah. And they enter the free electrons, enter the emitter. There's only two junctions, right? Electrons enter the emitter, and the free electrons, if their voltage is above 0.7 volts, then the base is high. No. Then the base gets injected with these electrons, and some of these electrons will go to the base lead. And they will go to the base lead if the reverse bias voltage, if the voltage of these electrons does not meet the reverse bias of collector base, which is 9 volts, I think. Now 9 volts, emitter base and collector base to collector, right? If they exceed the barrier potential, they get pushed into the collector base by the depletion layer field into the collector region. This is correct. And once it's at the base, electrons can either flow through the thin base into the external base lead, or across the collector junction into the collector region. It is because the base is lightly doped that only a few holes are available that this happens. Oh. The downward component of the base current is called recombination current, and it is due to base being lightly doped and only a few holes present. Since the base region is very thin and it receives a large number of electrons for VBE greater than VBE. Okay, yeah. What are the different collective equation there? The free electrons are pushed by the diffusion field my pencil. Huzzah! And I remember the signal alpha is equal to output over input, beta is also equal to output over input, beta is for base, alpha is for emitter. Input is the base emitter or emitter, and output is the collector always. This is my logic. And of course, NPN, two negatives, they go outside conventional current. Cameras, that's why. And PNP, they come inside because positive people want to work on themselves. So they go inside, I guess. I know that's just an analogy. My throat hurts. PNP. Emitter base is forward biased. Yes. And the collector base junction is reverse biased. Because of the battery. These two battery But doesn't that also happen in NPN? Anyway, it's reverse bias collector base region. It's forward bias emitter base. Resistance of emitter base is less, 0.6ish. And reduce forward bias. For reverse bias applied to collector base junction of much higher voltage. Camera. Yeah? Alright, looks like I got a bath. I'm almost done. Wow, how did I barely finish? Well, oh wait, I reached the next exercise. Okay. And so now, looks like that's it for the video. I gotta take a bath. I'll see you guys next time. Timer stopped. It stopped a long time ago.